Hello, this is Demetria January. Today is currently June 4th, 2018. The time is 11:31 p.m. and I am preparing for my London session, which will begin on June 5th, 2018 at 12 a.m. So I have about 30 minutes before my session actually opens. So I'm currently on the GBP JPY 15-minute chart, and just trying to check it out to see what the current sentiment of the market is. This here is a bearish sentiment. There's lots of red, bearish candlesticks in the market. There's a lot of wicks, which means it's a sign of lots of indecision. The current market looks like it's also bearish. I will take a moment to take a look at my FX to see if there's any fundamental reports that will be released during my trading session. I typically trade from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. and I do not trade fundamentals. So the only report that will be released is the Market Services PMI, which is a median report and will be released at 1:30 a.m. And if there's a report, if I'm still in the market, I'll have to watch out to see what the market does during this time period because I don't trade fundamentals. So moving on to the daily chart. As I move over to the daily chart, I need to identify the highest point on the chart. Now, close this. My lot size is 0.05. I will close this here for a moment so that I can plot the highest point on the chart, which the highest point looks like it was at 156.601. I'll change the color because I have different colors for each session, for each chart. So for the daily chart, I will change this to purple. So this here gives me an indication of what the price action was like at the highest point on the daily chart. And then I'll plot a line here for the lowest point, which is 143.183. This shows that the market this was the lowest point. And this particular chart goes from November 1st, 2017 through June 5th, 2018. The current sentiment on the daily chart is an uptrend. The current trend is an uptrend. But the major trend on the chart, let's see here, it's going up, slightly goes downward for a few days. And then it goes up, continues to go upward. So from about November 23rd, 2017 is when it completely shoots out of this, a bit of consolidation, shoots upward, continues to go upward. Then it goes down, takes a dip. So from from January, February 2nd. From February 2nd, it continues to go downward. So from February to March, so about a month, it goes downward. And then it continues to go back up. So I'm going to say that the major trend here is an uptrend. Although it does take a few dips, it does continue to go upward. So the major trend will be an uptrend. And then I'll move over to my hourly chart. And then I'll go offline and label all of my major trends. On the hourly chart, I will also place a line at the highest point on the chart to show the price action on the highest point on the daily chart. which will put it at 146.884 is the highest point. And then the lowest point still is the same as the daily chart. Yes, it has the same low point for the daily chart. And this particular trend, let's see here, this is bearish. And it says, I'm going to say the sentiment on this chart is a bullish sentiment. There's lots of green wicks and kind of moves sideways, but it goes down, it continues to go down. So on May 28th at about 1 o'clock, all the way through May 29th at 2100, it's a downtrend, but then it shoots up. So the major trend is an uptrend. The current market on the daily chart shows that there is a bit of consolidation. But the major trend, I'm going to say that the major trend is an uptrend because the market is moving upward. Moving over to the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart looks like the line from the daily, the line from the hourly chart did move over. So we can see that the market hasn't really gone above this in several hours. So on the 15-minute chart, I typically will plot my fib lines. So I need to look for a trend so that I can plot either the lowest point on the chart to go upward to the highest point, or find the highest point and move down to the lowest point. So because the lowest point is here, and I have to take the fib lines from from left to right, this here doesn't reflect the highest point on the chart. So what I'll do is use the highest point, which is here, and move downward to the lowest point, again, because it has to go from left to right. So plotting my fib line, I will take the fib line there and plot it here to go to the lowest point. And then let's take a moment to see if I should leave it there. I'm looking for several points of connection, which will identify whether or not it's a good point, if it's a good point for the fib line. So on the first one, there's just one there, which will show the lowest point. Then the second line here shows 1, 2, 3 points of connection here. 1, 2, 3. I've got several points of connection there, so that's a good one. Let's see here. There's 1, 2, 3. So that one's good there. This one here gives me roughly maybe about 2. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Let me see if I take it down, if it makes a bit of a difference, if that's better. Because the fib line needs to go to the wick, or body to body, or wick to body. And this one here, I think I like the other one better. Oh no. This is a good one. I'm going to leave it like this, because there's several points where the body of the wick touches the fib line. So I'm going to leave it here so that it will go from body to wick. So I'll save that there. And I will zoom in on the chart. Well, I didn't identify with the major trend here on the 15-minute chart. Let's see here. Or did I do? No, I didn't. The 15-minute chart. Let's see here. It does go up, goes up, it moves sideways into consolidation, takes a dip, moves up, goes down, and goes down. There's a few hours that it does go down. But this also has, it does continue to rise. So I'm going to say that it's a uptrend, is a major trend. I like to have, let me